This is it, the final week.
In terms of how much I want it, it's unmeasurable. 2
expert judges to decide who wins.
We're looking for a great cook who can make it as a professional. Someone to turn out exceptional food under pressure.
It's the first time in my life I'm actually doing something that I really, really love.
The prize, the chance to work in a top restaurant.
This competition just gets tougher. Whoever wins, it's going to change their life.
I'm very proud of being in the final 3, but I'll be content with the title.
MasterChef is going large. These 3 cooks have beaten over 130 hopefuls to make it to the finals of MasterChef. This week, as they battle for the title, the standards demanded will just get higher. They'll cook in the most arduous conditions for the British Army in Cyprus, cater at the highest level for heads of state, try to impress Michelin-starred giants with the most discerning palates in the world, and travel to the very pinnacle of culinary excellence.
Hey, go, quickly.
Today they face the first of their final challenges. They have to cook a restaurant classic to perfection, then cater for the 90-strong cast and crew of Britain's most famous hospital drama.
160, take 2, and action!
Which of these 3 finalists can rise above the others? Because on Thursday, only one can be crowned MasterChef.
Welcome back. You're our 3 finalists, so today we expect great things. You have 1 hour to cook for us a classic recipe. Bouillabaisse with Rui on the side.
1 hour. Let's do it.
Bouillabaisse is a traditional French fish soup, always served with a Rui, a garlic and chili sauce. It's a technically difficult dish which uses ingredients including monkfish, red snapper, mussels, tomato, fennel and pernod. When executed to professional standards, it should have a deep, rich seafood flavour.
I want to be able to see the ingredients cooked well, but with respect. It must be a flavoursome, rich, hot, delicious soup served with Rui.
Why this is good for judging is you've got 3 people doing exactly the same dish. Do you know what our chances of getting 3 dishes exactly the same are? Zilch.
Ben sets himself high standards because he one day aspires to Michelin star recognition. He's had an emotional journey through the competition, and he's worked hard to prove he's a technical cook who understands how to present food beautifully.
It's a good-looking plate of food, Ben.
But some of his dishes can lack the depth of flavour needed at the professional level.
I reckon it needs a couple of pinches of salt in those potatoes. Did you forget to put any salt in there?
Yeah.
However, he triumphantly made great-looking and great-tasting food when cooking for the restaurant critics.
That was a really exciting plate of food. It was arousing just to look at it.
Can Ben keep cooking at this level and win the competition?
I'm really excited now because I can really see the development, the progression that I'm starting to make. But I've got to tune into my palate more and understand how those flavours work in other people's mouths as well as my own.
Ben, you've had a look through the recipe.
That's right, yeah.
What do you think is the essence of the dish?
The essence is the fish, but creating flavours with the base to complement that fish without overpowering it.
We've questioned your taste buds before.
Yes, there has been a question over it in the past, I admit totally, and I'm trying to work on my palate and certainly really start to understand it more.
You've really thought about this competition a lot, and you thought about yourself and you developing. Did you think it was going to be that difficult?
I'd never had any idea about how difficult this competition was going to be. Mentally, physically, emotionally, skill-wise, I've never done anything so hard in my life.
Good on you, mate. Ben is fairly confident it's bouillabaisse. It's a classic recipe, and with that makes him happy.
I still think he has a problem maybe with his palate, but what is encouraging is he's constantly tasting. Every time I look round, he's got his finger stuck in something else.
You're halfway, ladies and gentlemen. 30 minutes to go.
Lawyer Hannah's food inspiration comes from her mother, and one day she dreams of opening a restaurant with her. But Hannah has had a crisis of confidence and she doubts her own ability.
I think I've just got nerves because I just don't think I'm good enough. I don't think I've got enough skills.
Her country-style food is packed with flavour, but she can add some unsuccessful twists.
The time through this is unusual. Part of my tongue was half expecting roast chicken, and the other half knew it was a dessert.
But last week she made giant strides as she learnt to simplify her food.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. It's amazing that you can get so much flavour.
From nothing.
Good on you, Hannah.
Can Hannah now find the inner confidence needed to win?
I really need to get my nerves under control. I need to get some self-belief. I think those are the main areas where I really need to get things under control.
Hannah, you've always been fairly unconfident.
Yeah.
Do you think now that you're in the final three that you might have a chance of winning it?
I don't know. I mean, anybody's got a chance, I suppose, being down in the final three.
You've read through the recipes here?
Yeah.
Is there one part of this that's making you worry?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I'm a great believer that if you can read and follow a recipe and follow it carefully, you shouldn't go too wrong, hopefully.
Hannah, how is the competition changing you as a cook?
I think I'm just really learning to focus on flavours and to simplify things and to, really concentrate on what the end goal is.
Good.
Hannah, this confidence thing is going to kill her. Surely, as one of the finalists, she now believes that she can achieve what everybody else can achieve.
Imagine what would happen to her food if she got confidence. Imagine how good it would be. You have just 15 minutes left.
Stephen dreams of running his own restaurant in Delhi.
I would love to open a simple, stylish, beautiful restaurant in a lovely location, a place that you can go and just experience life.
He's a flamboyant and passionate cook and has wowed with his exceptional palate.
The leek, butter, sorrel, truffle combination is absolute heaven.
As the competitions progressed, he's learnt to refine his food.
You have taken a massive step, I think. And if you continue to cook this way, Stephen, you are going to be a great, great, great cook.
But his timing can let him down because he often overcomplicates his food.
It tasted faintly milky, faintly eggy, but it had no personality whatsoever.
Will Stephen now focus and let his natural flair and talent shine through?
OK, well, we are seeing your trademark charge around a lot and sweat, which is great to see, Stephen.
Good. I just like to put some energy into it because I think I'm relaxed, but I'm not in a fluster.
What will separate a mediocre from a fantastic soup today?
I think it's just richness of flavour, depth of flavour, and I think it's just making sure that the flavours are really nicely rounded.
We know your issue with time, Stephen.
Yeah.
It's always out. Have you given yourself enough time to things like take the bones out of the fish, present this well, get it all done, all seasoned?
Yes. I'm certainly learning to manage the space I'm working in much better, because if there's too much going on, I can't think straight, there's too many distractions.
And that's why you run out of time?
Yes.
So you think today you've got the clarity, you've got yourself organised, and you're going to be on time?
Yes.
Oh, that should be interesting.
Stephen, now he says, yes, I've learned how to keep my station clean, how to keep an ordered mind. Well, I'm sorry, Stephen, you still have the messiest bench here.
He is still looking like he's running all over the place, but we'll have to wait to see what happens.
Guys, you've got about 2 minutes left. That is it. All done.
First up is Ben. He's stuck firmly to the recipe, serving a classic bouillabaisse with the rouille. But has he got the flavours right?
Ben, you happy with the soup?
Reasonably. I think it's OK for a first attempt.
The fish is really nicely cooked. The mussels are really nicely cooked. The flavour in there is predominantly of tomato. It doesn't need more salt or pepper. It's seasoned well. It just needs a bit more body. And your rouille's got a lot of garlic in it. And that garlic is just starting to overpower your soup. But good.
Thank you.
No, that lacks depth. It's
it's all garlic, isn't it?
Yeah, I would have liked a lot more of the fishiness to come through. I think I delivered what I meant to, certainly on my hui. It was really punchy, which is the way I've always experienced it, and I think that's the way it's designed to be, is to give a nice little punch and lift to the dish.
Hannah has given the recipe her own twist, using the Pernod as the main flavouring. But will it be up to professional standards?
Fish is becoming a little bit chewy because it's gone over a little bit too long. Again, I think this looks a little bit thin. And the predominant flavour in there is aniseed. Now,
Pernod.
It doesn't taste like any Bouillabaisse I've ever tasted.
The mussels are cooked really nicely. They're really lovely. The fish is just slightly going over a little bit much. Just watch the Pernod. It overpowers it, it really does. They can do a lot more chilli, a lot more garlic, a bit more salt.
It's difficult doing a dish you've not cooked before and not knowing what to put in it, but I've learned lots today.
Stephen successfully finished the task calmly and in time. But what will the judges think of his take on this classic dish?
Stephen, looks good. It looks like it's a little bit thicker than the others. It is deep, rich. It is sweet. It's got lovely texture. It's silky smooth, and it tastes of fish and it tastes of the flavours that make it up. Your roux texture looks good. It's okay, but I think it could do with a lot more chilli in it. But the soup's very good. In fact, really, really good indeed.
Thank you.
Yeah, yours is smoother, deeper, fishy, almost fruity at times. No, that's a good soup.
I'm thrilled to bits. I am thrilled to bits. It's like...
You go off now, have a sit down, and John and I are just going to discuss what it is we've seen. That's a fascinating test because, of course, when they're all working on the same recipe, they're all playing on a completely even playing field. And for me, Stephen's soup was by far the best. Rich, velvety, lots of flavours. I think he's just got a better understanding of how to pack flavours into liquid.
I'm pleased, and I did it in the time. I wasn't panicking, I wasn't flustered, and I delivered a really good plate of food, so I'm happy.
Stephen did very, very well, and actually I think Ben did very well considering that he stayed safe.
You've questioned Ben's palate. I watched him. He had a spoon or a finger in every single bit at every single stage. He is really working hard on this.
But it's still thin, and it still doesn't taste of a lot. But he did recognise that. That's good. At least he is starting to understand his palate and the flavours. That's great news.
I knew what my mistakes were. I suppose that's one positive thing, but I really would like to have come out on top of that challenge.
Hannah overcooked her fish, and of course she slung half a bottle of Pernod in there for some reason.
Chucking half a bottle of Pernod inside a bouillabaisse is not going to do it any good.
I think obviously today is probably not my confidence bit. Obviously I've still got a lot to learn in terms of extracting the most flavouring from the dish and to really concentrate on what I'm doing.
I love seeing how this unfolds. Tough competition with the three of them because the three of them are talented.
In today's task, Stephen has clearly impressed with his deep flavours. But Hannah and Ben are very close behind. With the first test over, there's no rest for the three finalists. The contestants are driven through the night to Bristol. It's early the next morning on the set of Britain's best-loved hospital drama, Casualty. Filming has already begun and they're on a tight schedule.
160, take 2.
Today, the finalists have to cater a high-quality lunch for the entire cast and crew. But behind the scenes, disasters struck.
So how are you feeling?
No, not brilliant at all.
Temperatures?
Yeah.
Shivery?
Yeah.
Overnight, Hannah has fallen ill with food poisoning.
Basically, she just needs to rest and take it easy. There's no way that she's going to be cooking today, not for the cast and crew, unfortunately. If they all went down sick, we'd be in trouble.
Oh, I just feel
so disappointed and said I could let everybody down this morning. And I just feel really rotten.
With Hannah down, Ben and Stephen have a lot on their plate.
Good morning, fellas. Welcome to Bristol. And look at this. This is going to be your home for the day. Behind here, we have the entire crew and cast of Casualty. And you are going to be making their lunch. We have a problem, don't we? Because Hannah's unwell. That means instead of the three of you doing the work together, there's just the two of you. They've got a tight schedule. They're going to break for lunch. They've got an hour and they're back on set again. So if we run late, they run late, production gets upset. You're going to have to learn and learn fast. Do some good stuff. Those guys in there are going to expect it. Good luck,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thanks.
See you for lunch.
Keeping a close eye on their progress is head caterer Dick Conisby.
Got a busy day ahead of here. We've got about 90 people to do for lunch. It's got to be bang out on time as well because they're not here to eat, they're here to film. Let's go.
Ben and Stephen have just 2.5 hours till lunch is served. They have to invent a menu which includes a meat dish, 1 fish, 1 vegetarian option, 2 types of potato, 3 vegetable side orders and 2 hot desserts.
Right guys, time's cracking on.
Okay.
I'm going to leave you to it. Good luck.
Fantastic.
Cheers.
Get that noted down.
They will have to serve up exactly on time, so they need to decide what their menu is and start cooking.
Cucumbers.
Are there any aubergines?
So we can do half of that.
Okay. I think if we add some tomatoes...
Gratinate it.
Gratinate.
How many aubergines have you got?
Glazed carrots. And is there a green veg we can put with it?
Where's Dick gone again?
But 30 minutes in, Ben and Stephen are still deciding, and Dick is not impressed.
Time is ticking on a lot here and we've got to start cooking rather than talking. To start with, they didn't get organised quick enough, so that's going to be hard because now they're behind time. The hardest thing is now catching up time and getting it out on time.
Finally, half an hour late, Ben and Stephen get in the kitchen. The team have decided that Ben will cook herb-crusted lamb, steamed trout and dauphinoise potatoes, while Stephen is making a vegetarian ratatouille, pineapple sponge pudding and rhubarb and apple crumble. To start, Ben prepares the trout and Stephen works on his ratatouille.
Ben and I have chosen things that we think are achievable. We're not trying to overstretch ourselves. I've certainly learnt from my mistakes in the past of trying to bite off more than I can chew.
There is a lot to do. Bearing in mind there's only 2 of us now to do the task, we have to be ready on time. These guys need to be fed. And I don't want to be responsible for holding up the whole episode of Casualty.
They've got themselves organised now, they're on their way, so hopefully my crew will be fed today.
Film crews are famously hard to please. They expect their food to be really good quality and on time. But an hour in, Ben is still working on the trout and hasn't thought about his other dishes.
Ben, as we know, time's cracking on. Yep. We need to get those dauphinoise potatoes in pretty sharpish.
Right, let's do the dauphinoise.
Okay.
With words from Dick, Ben is on the potatoes. But has he seasoned them enough?
You got enough garlic in there? Did you put some more in there after that little bit you put in?
I didn't know how strong it was, and they've always been killing me over how much garlic I put in stuff.
True to form, Stephen is determined to create a ratatouille packed with flavour. But this means he's taking too long and he hasn't started his 2 desserts.
So how's the ratatouille you're doing?
I've salted the aubergines and slices and then they're just being compressed at the moment to get the bitter juices out. And I'm now doing the base for the tomato sauce.
Yeah, and then you're going to have to crack on with those desserts, Stephen.
Ben is now up to speed. The potatoes are in the oven and he's moved on to the lamb. But Stephen still won't compromise his ratatouille by rushing it, and he has yet to start his desserts. Ben decides to step in.
How long do you think before your tray is actually going to be ready to put in the oven when we need to use it?
I think probably another 30 minutes.
30 minutes?
Yeah.
We're going to need to speed it up a bit on that. If you can try and aim for 15 minutes.
Okay.
Because we need to get cracking on with the cuds.
With time running out and tension mounting, Stephen isn't happy.
We make that 10 minutes for that ratatouille, Stephen, after...
Yeah, we've had 5 minutes.
Don't wind me up, Ben. I'm right in the middle.
They're doing OK. I think Stephen spent a little bit too long over his ratatouille. He should be on his desserts by now.
But another 15 minutes pass and the desserts are still not started. Ben decides to finish the ratatouille himself,
I'll just layer them. I'll just layer it. We only need 25 portions of it.
much to Stephen's annoyance.
The idea was this and then the peppers.
We've got to think about time, mate.
Yeah, but it's 5 minutes, Bennett.
Yeah, well, 5 minutes we haven't got.
Okay, fine.
Finally, with the ratatouille done, Stephen can move on to his desserts. But Ben now faces another problem.
You need to check those potatoes again as well, Ben. You need to take the top off the dauphinoise half hour before to brown it. So they haven't got long really to cook through.
The dauphinoise have gone into the oven too late and they're far from ready.
I'm a bit worried about it.
Confident about those?
Well, if we're dishing up at 1, then I'm confident.
OK.
Yeah, I think, we'll pull them out at the last minute.
OK.
With half the morning gone, it's time for John and Greg to check their progress.
G'day, guys.
Hi.
Stephen, is it tougher than you thought it would be?
Yeah, it is. You've got to be thoroughly organised, so it's hard work.
What about you, Ben? How are you getting on down there, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. I think we're pretty much on track at the moment. There's never going to be any spare time, but we're doing OK.
Dick, this is your baby. You do this day in, day out. We think Stephen's got timing issues. What do you think?
The ratatouille took a long time to prepare, to be honest. I think that should have been a lot quicker.
And
I'm still a bit worried about the dauphinoise potatoes.
Right, time's pressing. We'll leave you to it. OK? A task like this is about getting really good quality food out in a certain amount of time. They're going to have 90 people walk up those steps in about an hour's time. Are they going to be ready? Dick in there does not look happy. The guy's looking at his watch, he's pacing up and down. Timing is just a constant issue whenever you have Stephen involved. Ben's approached this definitely with more enthusiasm today. Those dauphinoise at the moment look like potato milk soup. He's got a problem. If that food's not ready, Dick's like that.
Back in the van, it's not looking good for Ben's potatoes. This time, Dick takes over.
Just need to give them a kickstart. They'll be all right, I think. Give them 10 minutes to really get going. We'll cover them back over.
By moving them from the oven to the hob, the potatoes can finally start to cook.
I think the dauphinoise maybe needs to go in 20 minutes earlier, but we've taken some preventive action, so hopefully they should be OK.
Meanwhile, on set, the cast and crew have been hard at work since 6 a.m.
And action!
The safest possible hairsman.
Cut! Okay, reset, please.
And stomachs are beginning to rumble.
Are you hungry? Me, I'm starving.
Yeah, the film crews, they're impatient. When they say lunch, they run out. It's like school times. First in the queue's a big thing.
Half an hour to go, and Stephen's finally up to speed with the desserts, but it's manic in the kitchen with lots still to do. Ben's dauphinoise are back in the oven, but will they be ready in time?
They're miles away. Come on, we're in trouble here now.
On set, the cast and crew are about to break for lunch.
Cut! Okay, reset, please, quick as we can. Okay, guys, last shot before lunch. Let's go.
With minutes to spare, the team work frantically to get everything finished.
Yeah, they're spot on, those ones.
How's that? Great, so guys, everyone that completes that scene, and that's lunch. Hooray! Hooray, and good luck with lunch.
As the production team leaves set, Ben nervously tastes his potatoes. They're only just ready. Now the team only have an hour to serve lunch, starting with the main courses of lamb, trout, ratatouille and dauphinoise potatoes.
What would you like?
Lamb, please.
Lamb.
2 trout, please.
Courgettes.
Normally the caterers are very good here, so we'll just see. From what I've seen of what's been going past, it's looking fairly decent at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no veggie
Got to
option.
speed it up a bit in there. Speed it up.
Guys, got a big queue out there. We're going to have to try and speed it up a little bit, yeah?
Who's next, please? Any veggies, sir?
Who's next?
I'll have the ratatouille and jacket potato, please.
Okay.
Could I have the herb-crusted rack of lamb, please?
Yeah. Did you say with green beans as well?
Veggie.
Thank you very much.
Same with green beans.
The cast and crew are finally getting fed. But what will these discerning customers think of the food?
I'd say the standard of the food is very, very good. Probably their service is a bit slow for what we need, but you know, it's their first time. But the food is excellent, so they've done very well there. No, I've had the ratatouille, and it's really good actually. It's very tasty. I'm really enjoying it.
The trout was absolutely amazing. I inhaled it, and as you can see, there's nothing left. I loved it.
Ben's trout and lamb are going down well. But what do they think of his dauphinoise?
The potato bake, which is definitely one of my favourite dishes, was a little bit under-seasoned.
I needed to put a bit of pep on the potatoes, that's all.
Definitely the dauphinoise needed something like, in the way of maybe pepper, I don't know, or salt, but something to save it from being bland.
Once again, Ben hasn't got the flavours quite right. But 30 minutes in, the team have served 90 main courses. However, it isn't over. As the last people get their main courses, the first ones return for Stephen's pineapple sponge pudding or rhubarb and apple crumble.
Custard, was that?
Yes, please.
Rhubarb and apple crumble with custard, please. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed.
Something Mum used to make. So it's pretty good. Yeah.
I'm having the crumble now, which looks very good, tastes very good, and is warm.
Very nice. Thank you very much, MasterChef.
Finally, after a hectic 45 minutes, the team have successfully served lunch to the entire Casualty production. It's time for head caterer Dick to talk to John and Greg.
Dick, they're our finalists today. You were supposed to have 3. You only ended up with Ben and with Stephen. The 2 of them had to do the work of 3 people. Did they achieve that goal?
They did. I was a little bit worried mid-morning. Things weren't happening quick enough for me. They thought they had loads of time. Until I mentioned it, the potatoes wouldn't be in now, I don't think.
But when it actually came to serving the food, Dick, there was a big, long queue. They seemed to be waiting a really long time.
They were dilly-dallying about and not just getting on with it. They changed the system, people got served.
What are your thoughts, professionally, on Stephen?
He's done well. Ratatouille, excellent. The pineapple ginger sponge, good. I think he loses concentration. He goes into a little bit of a lapse, sort of. He's away chopping his ratatouille stuff and not thinking about the next job.
And what advice would you give him?
Just basically have a little bit more confidence in himself, get his timing right, and I think he would become a decent chef.
There was a little bit of concern with the ratatouille I was cooking, but it was a main course. It had to hold up to 2 other strong main course dishes, so it couldn't be a kind of compromise. So it just took a bit of extra time.
How did Ben get on today?
Ben, yeah, he done well. He done well. He was getting his trout prepped, and he was doing his herb crust for the lamb, and he was thinking ahead.
I think it went really well today. We had a few issues to start off with. We resolved those, and overall, I'm pretty pleased, especially considering we were a man down.
They did a great job today, and they got 90 people fed, good quality food, all hot, all on time. Good on them.
Gotta feel a bit sorry for Hannah. I mean, she's not well.
But they're going to need Hannah back. She's back tomorrow because the tasks they're going to be doing, they need the 3 of them. Otherwise, it's going to be too much for them to get through.
Tomorrow's test will be even tougher, and Hannah will need to make up for lost ground if she's going to stay in the race for the title of MasterChef.
They've got stuff out of tins, and they've got stuff out of ration packs, and they've got to make it really good. How are they going to do that?
They've got a lot to do. It's hot. They're really up against it with time.
OK, listen, is this start going to go out now?
It's about to go out, Chef. I'm such a pixie of this.
Don't stress, mate.